Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next The Reckoning of Roku chapter analysis video. This one's going to be for chapter 38, which is called The Machine. Once again, YouTube channel membership is enabled if you want to help support the channel, and also subscribing is helpful. But we'll get into this. It's a pretty short chapter, but it's a pretty impactful one, especially by the end. We see the crossover of two of the plot points. But the main significant thing is, of course, we see what the Earthbenders have done. They've freed them, but what have they immediately decided to do? They've gone to destroy the clan village, basically. And that's what we see. Malaya and Gyatso follow them, and they find the village destroyed. The terraced hillsides were scarred with wide strips of bare earth, the unharvested plants uprooted and ruined. Some of the huts have been reduced to rubble and wreckage, crushed beneath colossal boulders, spears of stone out of the ground, just breaking everything apart. The Earthbenders have clearly gone in here with the intent of just destroying absolutely everything here. And Malaya is heartbroken. Like, Malaya and Gyatso are both stunned that this has happened. But of course, this is Malaya's home, and this is what's happened here. And of course, there's a little bit of a sense of like she almost blames herself because it was those two that kind of freed the Earthbenders to save them. But they've, in a way, kind of led to this sort of happening. And so Malaya's stunned at, like, she doesn't know what to do in the middle of all this destruction and devastation. Gyatso does, but before we get there, we do get finally, a reference to Yuming and Shija here. So Yuming says, "I'm sorry. The guards, they were so angry after we'd been captured, so angry about the others your people had killed. All they cared about was retaliation. When you and the air nomad broke us free, they rushed straight here to destroy your village, and now they're off to find your chief. Chija and I tried to stop them, but..." And Malaya reaches for her dagger, but Gyatso has to stop her and focus her attention on, we need to help everyone here. Gather anyone left alive who can help. But she can't bring herself to kind of separate herself from just the sheer amount of devastation that's actually happened. And she eventually kind of gets free and, starts to help everyone. Gyatso, he's been on air nomad relief missions. He knows exactly what to do. He sort of takes charge, gets people around the village to where they need to go, get people to the healer. Malaya checks on the people to see who's active and who's not. But her attention then returns. When she sees Kilat again, she's like, oh, this is what I need to do. Gets the knife out, gets on Kilat. I'm going after the Earthbenders. They have to pay for what they've done. Revenge. But Gyatso, once again, like, you have to stop. You have to stay here and help. They're cogs in a machine. It's the machine we have to figure out how to destroy. And it's just the idea that the people who need our help are here. You going after and trying to kill the people we just saved, basically, is not going to help anything. And so, yes, we get a scene cut at this point, and we see the kind of reality of the destruction here. They find a young girl. They think she's dead, but actually she's only frozen from the shock. Baku's wife is dead. That's super unfortunate because Baku has sort of taken up the position as sort of the leader in the middle of this crisis while Ulo is away at the ritual. They find other people like injured and have to deal with that. So one of the gatherers has a piece of sharp stone in his side. They find a weaver who's unconscious, and Gyatso kind of breathes life back into her lungs. And Malaya, through the tears, is doing everything she can. She's working herself to the bone, basically, in the rescue efforts here. But then, all of a sudden, newcomers arrive on eelhounds. And so what we get here is the arrival of Dalusai, Kozaru, and of course, Sozin arriving on the scene. And everyone's tense here because they arrive in like they own the place. That this is a true example of like, oh no, another group of outsiders has arrived and there actually is a problem here. And of course, it's Sozin who's here with such intent. All he cares about is trying to save Roku. And so and again, this is from like Malaya's perspective, of course. The boy with the blazing eyes seemed unconcerned with either the destruction that stretched out before them or the aggressive welcome. His gaze fell on Gyatso. "Airbender," he said with an imperious tone, "where is the Avatar?" So you know, straight away that's like, okay, we'll see what happens here. It'll be more on the next chapter we get with these characters, but we know how Sozin views Airbender, so this isn't going to go super well. We know how Gyatso already views Sozin, having just heard some stuff secondhand from Roku. So these two don't like each other immediately, of course. But yes, the big detail here being the destruction of the clan village here. The outsiders have come in and made this happen. And Malaya, you see a little bit of Malaya's rage here. And in a way, this is the big challenge for her. She has the correct approach of like, don't blame the outsiders. But now the worst has kind of happened here. Does she now agree with Ulo, and does she want to truly kill them? And is it just that she needs to let her emotions kind of explore them and let them go? Or what are we going to see happen here? Because this is the kind of test of her ideals, basically, is now that it's happened, are you going to want to take revenge or not? And this is going to be something to keep an eye on with Malaya now, in terms of the outsiders have actually done something to kind of impact her. So, fascinating chapter, even though it is quite small. It's obviously incredibly sad, and it's something that the book had been building up to for quite a while, which is obviously the idea of the village was able to, of course, stealthily capture everyone, but now freed, they take revenge by, you know, absolutely destroying the village. So, because of course Amihan was unconscious during all of this, and Gyatso and Malaya had taken out most of the people capable of defending, but the idea is that there's a kind of war to a certain degree going on the island now. How do we stop all of this? Especially now that Sozin is here and he's going to start charging around the place. It's very, very interesting. But I do like that we did finally catch up with Yuming and Chija. I would have maybe appreciated, like, perhaps one of the previous chapters just having a note that, like, Malaya can see that these two people who she is focused on were actually up there in the trees, because this is the chapter that actually properly confirms it. So just the idea of when they separate mother and daughter from the other earthbenders and when they don't, there's a little bit of a kind of weirdness there, but you know, good chapter. So in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are here, but otherwise that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.